What up, y'all? It's Justin Gay, Caesar Xanadu. It's tomato trellis time. So this year, what I plan on doing is more of a lower and lean type style of trellising for my tomatoes. Actually, this is the first year I've decided to do tomatoes again after taking a couple year break for doing tomatoes, just so I can learn how to grow my other crops a little bit more properly. Lower and lean basically allows me to allow the plant to get longer without actually going higher in the trellising. But first off, we gotta build this thing. The way I was trellising back in the day was by using these guys. And as you can see, every couple feet, we have these eye hooks, right? And basically what I would do was take a piece of wire and run them to the other eye hooks on the other side over there, right? And I would just hook up wire to that. And as the tomato grew, I would weave it in between the wire here and that wire. So it would kind of weave all the way up. Eventually it would hang over, and that was the way that I was trellising. This year, however, like I said, we're gonna be doing a single stem. So what I'm gonna do is use these same boards, attach a couple pieces up on top here to actually hold the wire that I'm gonna be utilizing. Back here, I'm running a 30-foot row. So what I wanna do is add another post right here in the middle. We already have a post at the end. I gotta get another post back there, a post in the middle here, and then a post in the middle there. This post here, however, I just plan on using the awning that's already here. I'm just gonna attach a board directly to that, and it should stay really nice and stable for me, so I shouldn't have any issue there. Each one of my posts are 6.5 feet tall, so that's what I'm gonna be cutting out for my middle post, and then rewind for that back post back there. So the middle post, the posts are gonna go in the middle, boom, 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 and that post back there are gonna be right about 6.5 feet tall as well. So I need to go and cut those guys out, and I'm actually gonna be staking those into the ground as opposed to putting them in the cinder blocks like these guys. So basically what I'm gonna do right now is turn these 2x4s into a stake. This right here is a 6.5 foot mark, and I want to be able to drive these boards, these 2x4s, right about 1.5 feet into the ground, leaving 6.5 feet exposed. 6.5, gonna go down to the middle point here, make it a point, come down, and then now I have a pretty good template. Not perfect, but that's just gonna work. And I can trace the remaining 4 boards. My dude, I wish a vampire would run up on me right now. Making steaks, homie. Next, I'm gonna make the cross pieces. I'm gonna cut them 27 inches long. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and pre-drill some of the screws just to kind of get them prepped for the installation. Now I'm not gonna actually drill these cross pieces into the stakes just yet because I gotta drive these into the ground first, and I feel as though there's gonna be less chances of me knocking one of the things off or messing something up if I go ahead and just pound them into the ground with the cross pieces off, or with the cross section off. So right now I'm just going to kind of prep them with the screws, get them ready because I'm working by myself, and yeah, it should make things a lot easier. Next, I'm gonna screw in 2 more screws, and those are gonna serve as guides for the wire that's gonna be resting on top of the cross piece. Okay, everything's prepped up. Now it's just time for me to get everything in the ground. Think that does it. Well, they're all in. They feel pretty sturdy. I wouldn't let my kids swing on it or anything, but I got grown ass kids. But even if they were like 2 or 3, I still wouldn't let them swing on it. Ultimately, I think they're gonna do what I need them to do. If you find yourself with more of a clay or rocky soil, you find it hard to pound those posts into the ground, then you might want to go ahead and just go with the cinder block and concrete option. I know that's not a cinder block, but you understand what I'm saying. That way you can bypass having to beat anything into the ground. I'm using Douglas fir pine because that's what's regional to my area and it's cheaper. So I think because it's regional to the area, it's cheaper. It's more suited for our climate here, right? We don't get a lot of rain. There's a lot of pine trees around. They know how to handle not getting a lot of rain. If you live on the East Coast, I think it's probably better for you to go more with the redwood because you get more rain and it's gonna repel that. That's something I think I picked up from Curtis Stone, but it makes perfect sense to me. If you're really concerned with it, you can also just throw a clear coat on them and you should be cool. Now let's put the cross pieces in. Ran out of space the other day. We already got it done. So basically all I did was, after putting on these cross posts up here, I hung this wire. I just simply have it attached right here to my fence. So I'm keeping it pretty tight by having it attached to the fence. It's not actually attached to the boards or to the cross pieces, although I do think that might be a good idea. By the way, guys, I got this build from Steven over at Nature's Always Right, another one, right? If you guys haven't checked out his channel, you guys really should check out his channel, man. He's doing some really cool stuff over there. Anyway, on his build, he actually attached cable to the back of his wooden pieces, at least on some of them. Now, I do think I'm going to do that, but not for the ones back here so much, but the ones up here because of our winds. The way I have them anchored now is just they come all the way off that same line down here into a stake. This wire is really easy to work. So, I mean, I do have turnbuckles. Might be using those eventually, but for right now, this seems to be working pretty well. So check it out. I have all those up now. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish up putting at least this row in. This is what I'm using to actually string up the tomatoes. Spool, like a little wire holder here, and a tomato clamp. You wanna make sure you get this clamp underneath these set of leaves. Also, keeping the string in the middle of the clamp. And then you string it on up. I connect the string to the tomato. I want to make sure that the string is tight so it offers enough support for the tomato to grow up. This row, I probably will go ahead and trellis those guys up next week. The following row, this other row, my row 3, unfortunately, did not fare well at all. The tomatoes that I planted here were not hardened off properly, and I wonder if that might be why they didn't last. All these other ones were hardened off pretty well. I'm not worrying too much about trellising these guys just yet right now. It's just because, 1, for time, 2, I don't have to do it right now, and 3, if I try to put the little collar around some of them, it's just gonna come right off. They're not strong enough yet. I run out of room sometime. Because of our weather, things kind of got really funky where my microgreens were growing. Just let's say I wasn't anticipating the way they were gonna grow. So anyway, I needed the space for the microgreens and I couldn't really utilize them as much for the for my plant starts. That's why we're building that guy out over there. That's a shed that's coming pretty soon. But anyway, I had to go ahead and get these guys in the ground a little bit earlier. These guys over there, I had a chance to pot those guys up. I actually had space then. These guys right here, they could have been potted up, but now it was like, why? I have the space, go ahead and put them in. Yeah, so I went ahead and just dropped them in. And plus, I didn't have the space in the grow room. So anyway, they're a little small, but they're gonna be perfectly okay. They look great. These guys, on the other hand, we'll have to throw some more in there. So, but it's cool, I got some more going right now. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful, guys. Stay tuned. A couple weeks to about a month or so, I'll be showing you guys how to do the lower and lean thing, as well as pruning your tomatoes. Peace out.